Well, if No Mercy is what we got tonight, what we are going to be expecting until the Royal Rumble, then the WWE is in serious, serious trouble. What's up, guys? This is Bernie here, back at you with Fusion Corp with a little No Mercy reaction, review, discussion. I want to be very thorough about what we're talking about in this No Mercy because there's a lot of things to dissect, and there's a lot of things that fans, podcasters, YouTube personalities, whoever discusses wrestling, us as fans, we are going to be very upset. And this is the first time in a long time I'm going to say that this company is the biggest joke to professional wrestling, and they need to apologize to the fans, especially for one of the matches where they blatantly disrespected an entire division, an entire championship, and all the people that work in that division. If you know what division I'm talking about, great. We'll save it for later on and down the review. But No Mercy, guys. Well, I could flat out say it. It sucked. Wasn't very good. Could also say some of it was great. You know, your Dean Ambrose, your Cesaro, Sheamus, that match, the tag team match, great. But this was utter garbage. Usually I am generous with these reviews and Raws themselves, only because I could see where they're going with some of the storylines. I could see some of the stuff that they're going with. But tonight, inexcusable. This was the biggest joke I think I've ever seen. So let's go on with the first match we had, which was Elias versus Apollo Crews. No one really cares about it. Elias wins. Apollo Crews, one of the guys I like to see go back to NXT and build his character up a little bit more, because we don't really know who he is or what he stands for. We just know that he's part of Titus Worldwide, which is, I don't know if that's an achievement or not. It definitely isn't in my book, but I hope they do something with him because I think he is perfect if you can build him up right. So send him back to NXT. Next, we have, for the first match of No Mercy, for the Intercontinental Championship, we had Jason Jordan versus the champion Miz. So in this match, Jordan got no reaction from the crowd when he came out. And it was weird because what I saw from the crowd was that the Miz was the one who was getting more of the face reaction. I saw people cheering for him. As soon as Jason Jordan, made his comeback, everyone was booing him. And, the crowd was just going crazy for it. And this is what I don't understand about WWE, is you have a very good wrestler in Jason Jordan. He's great, better than The Miz in terms of wrestling-wise. But the way that you built up his storyline and the way that he is, it just doesn't resonate with fans because it feels forced and pushed. It's like they didn't learn anything from the Roman Reigns. What are we doing, WWE? This is ridiculous. Make sure you build your guys first so we can get behind him. Make sure that he has character, charisma. That's something that we resonate as fans. We resonate to people that have that kind of oomph to them, that we just want to, cheer for them because we hate the other guys. I just don't know, man. This match just was flat out just kind of boring, nonsensical. Of course, Jason Jordan wrestled a good match, but it wasn't anything too special. The Miztourage got involved in this match, which led to The Miz with the skull-crushing finale. 1, 2, 3, Jason Jordan lost. Which I predicted in our reviews with me and Pete on Fusion Corp, if you want to check it out. I predicted that The Miz was going to win, but it still, I don't know, it still didn't kind of make sense in a way that Jason Jordan now just shouldn't even be near the title picture at all. And what sucks is that you character buried him because you decided to make him the son of Kurt Angle. So, of course, he has to be up, in the upper echelons of the main event because Kurt Angle is the general manager right now. I don't understand why we got this result. what we need to do now is just ask the question as to why is this happening? Why is Jason, just let Jason Jordan build and simmer up to a character where we can believe him. And just make sure that he's built up properly, which I know they won't do. I mean, we've seen result and time after time that it just can't be done. For some god no reason, it just can't be done, and I don't understand it. So I'll just end this review of The Miz and Jason Jordan with this. The crowd said he sucked, and they generally said he sucked. This wasn't a Kurt Angle, you suck, endearment. It's not a chant of endearment, it's a chant of go away. And they need to really do something with his character or something with him, because it's going to be a living hell for him, just like it is a living hell for Roman. So do something fast, make sure you build him up properly. But knowing WWE and the way that this No Mercy pay-per-view went, I don't have any hope at all. So let's just move on to the second match, which was Finn versus Bray. Again, another match I didn't really care about because, well, Bray Wyatt's buried. Finn Balor has beaten him twice now. I'm just going to quickly just go off that Finn beat him with the coup de grace. This was Bray Wyatt attacking Finn Balor before the match, trying to get him injured. Finn Balor was about to go to the back until Bray Wyatt provoked him. Then the match ended up happening, and of course Bray Wyatt loses. So this is my plea to Bray Wyatt, and it's please leave the WWE. I think you're a really great talker and a really great wrestler, and your gimmick is something that I don't think the WWE fully understands, because you are a cult leader, not a supernatural phenomenon. So I really wish the WWE would do a way better job at your character, but it turns out that they can't do anything at all. So I'm hoping that you either go to New Japan or ROH, build up, become proper, or even just go back to NXT, because Triple H will know exactly what to do with you. So this is just crap, and we're just going to end that one there because I really have nothing else to talk about for that one. So let's go to a match that was really good, and I think probably the match of the night, and that was the tag team match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Again, it started off with a slow pace, nothing too a lot of methodical stuff, and the thing that really got the crowd going a lot was that bump that Cesaro took when he got launched into the turnbuckle. He landed on the steel part of that turnbuckle on the right side, I believe, from the camera. Maybe it was the left side, but anyway, he hit his mouth on the metal part, and he chipped his tooth really bad, and he was bleeding profusely. It was just made your skin crawl a little bit. But this really woke up the crowd, and Cesaro, congrats to him, and congrats to anybody that wrestles on an injury like that, where I would feel pain and want to continue. He just went balls deep, still went crazy with the moves, was still wrestling perfectly, and it kind of sucked because there was a sequence in here where there was a white noise from Sheamus, and then a power bomb from Cesaro onto. So I believe it was Dean got white noise by Sheamus, and then Cesaro power bombed Seth Rollins onto Dean Ambrose, and I thought that should have been the end of the match. I mean, that was a powerful move and something that really should have finished anybody, but instead what we got is that Dean Ambrose kicked out, and then this was. The crowd was just really into it, and it just ended up with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins winning. Not really the way that the match went and the way that it worked, I thought that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose should have lost the match to Cesaro and Sheamus. But, it is what it is. I'm just, great match overall. There's nothing really much to say. If my energy seems kind of low right now, guys, it's because I've endured this BS from the WWE right now, and I will definitely pick it up when we get to the Roman Reigns match and the Enzo Amore match. But for now, we have the women's match, where it was Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Emma, and Bayley. First of all, like I said in the review, why is Bayley in this match? She didn't do anything to earn an opportunity. Yeah, she won I think it was after SummerSlam where she won an opportunity, but everyone in the crowd knew and everyone in the community knows that she didn't really deserve it because everybody wanted Sasha Banks because of the way they buried Bayley. Bayley is a buried character, and what they should have done was kept her off TV until probably this week if you wanted to, and then bring her back. I just didn't understand what was the point of bringing back Bayley, especially to take the pin. I mean, we'll just jump straight into it. She took the pin for a character that was once beloved in NXT, who had probably the best match of the decade with Sasha Banks and herself in it in NXT Brooklyn, to now this where she gets pinned and is scared to hit people with kendo sticks. I mean, what is this crap that WWE is feeding us? This is absolute garbage, and I'm sick of the WWE doing this every single year, where we just bury people that we like, or we make them heels and we want them to go away. The WWE, that the characters that the universe loves from NXT, or from the WWE without the NXT itself, they just bury them by giving them go away heat because they build these characters down to where they're just laughable and we just don't want to do it. I just don't understand why this is happening, and I'm very sick of it. You know, mixed reaction from Bayley. No one really cared when she walked in. Sasha is still the most over wrestler in that group until Asuka comes, because Asuka is probably going to kill it when she's there. And I'm still peeved that they use Emma. They don't use Emma's old theme. They use her new one, which is very crap. And to my surprise, she didn't take the pin. And she had some good spots in this match, which is what I like to see, especially in these matches, is to also build up the other guys. But the ending was very unpredictable, and Nia Jax looked like a monster, but it wasn't enough for Alexa Bliss to outsmart her. She runs into the steel post, gets hit, and then Bayley takes a DDT from Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss retains the title. So there's something that needs to be said there. Alexa Bliss has some pull in the back, because, I mean, this is everyone from the wrestling community to YouTubers. We talked about how Nia Jax was getting the rub finally because the way that she's been built up during the weeks, and now all of a sudden Alexa Bliss still retains the title. I'm wondering if they're doing this so it could be like a very it wasn't even a lengthy run because Alexa Bliss still lost it to Sasha Banks, so it still doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just hoping that when Asuka comes in here, she could do something where she kind of revives the division, but at the same time, like other YouTubers have said, this division is very unsavable because you only have like 5 or 6 women in it. When you only have 5 or 6 women in it, you repeat the same matches over and over again, and these storylines are just nonsensical, and they just really ruin the characters. I mean, especially in Bayley's case. But, you know, why don't we have the Raw, or not the Raw, but just the women's division on one brand, and then the cruiserweights on a different brand? Or even like the women on one brand and the tag team on a different brand. I mean, that would solve a lot of things, but of course WWE doesn't want to do it. And especially what I forgot to say in the Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins match is that Jeff Hardy got hurt. So, you know, Matt Hardy's on his own, and it really cripples the tag team division because there's no one else for someone to contend with. I mean, if we think about it, Cesaro and Sheamus aren't going to get another title run or a title opportunity to win the titles back. And Gallows and Anderson are completely buried. So I don't know what you could do there to get them back up. The Revival's still injured, but they might be coming back soon, hopefully. And then, what else do you have? Rhino? Heath Slater? Jobbers. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And I'm sorry to go on a tangent here, but like I was talking about just splitting up the divisions, it gives people more competitors to face. And why wouldn't you want more competitors for your champions or the people that are very strong in your company? I mean, we kind of buried them, or we just kind of, not buried them in a sense, but more of, there's no one else for them to compete against unless you go to another promotion, which of course that's not going to happen. So it makes no sense to me why we only have 5 or 6 women in one division, and the tag team we have a small division as well. So I'm hoping that whether they do a superstar shakeup or not, just make sure that brands have equal amount of men, equal amount of women, equal amount of tag teams. That's all we want from this. But anyway, this is just another case of they wanted to also show that Nia Jax had some strength, where she double Samoan dropped. I believe it was Alexa Bliss and Banks, which, you know, they're both lighter women, so it doesn't look as impressive, but it's still impressive nonetheless that she was able to Samoan drop both of them. So the only thing that's left to talk about this match is that Alexa Bliss is still champion. She's still doing her thing, and we're going to see if Asuka is going to take the title off her or not. Now, the next match. Oh man, the next match. Here we go. We had Roman Reigns versus John Cena in a match that was so slow that I almost fell asleep multiple times. I probably fell asleep 4 or 5 times during this match, or at least tried to, until I heard the crowd react, whoa, because there were some spots that happened in this match. Of course, John Cena is cheered in this match. Roman Reigns is booed. John Cena is playing with the crowd because the crowd didn't really want this match to happen and said you both sucked. And when he pointed to go to the exit, the crowd was cheering, yeah, go away because we don't want you in here. But of course, Roman Reigns comes in, punched him. And the thing I noticed in this match was that Cena looked, they made Cena look really weak in this match. Like every time, Roman Reigns was the only one that got offense in this match, really. In terms of punches, in terms of moves. The only thing that John Cena probably outdid him in was finishers. And that's the thing that we're going to talk about here, is that not even 2 AAs could take care of Mr. Roman Reigns. No. But a spear and a punch. Sorry, I got that mixed up. A punch and then a spear took out John Cena. And to me, that makes no damn sense. As we've built up John Cena to be Super Cena, that shows that he is supposed to be the number one guy in your company and supposed to be, you know, the strongest guy in the room. But what they want to do is they want to build up Roman Reigns to be the next John Cena. Whether he likes to admit it or not, he's going to be the next John Cena. You know, they did this where it took only one Superman punch and a spear from Roman to beat John Cena. Like, in what world? I mean, if we just even go back to like 10 years ago, would that even finish? If John Cena were to bring out like 20 different finishing moves on a wrestler, and then this wrestler had 2 moves and finished John Cena, we'd be laughing at your face because John Cena was the face of the company. And, you know, this match just really showed that John Cena is officially going to that part-time role now. So another thing I wanted to talk about real quick, because I did the review first, but I forgot to mention it, is so I watched the Raw talk after the No Mercy pay-per-view, and when John Cena was talking about Roman Reigns, he talked about a hypothetical passing of the torch. And, you know, a lot of people bring that up with Roman Reigns because we felt as a community that he's been giving these coronation matches, passing of the torch matches to prove to us, which, you know, will not happen, and the WWE Universe, that he deserves to be the top guy. And Roman Reigns says that it is earned, not given. But I kind of want to refute that because it looks like to me that every time that we get this kind of reaction, or, you know, we boo Roman Reigns, we talk shit about Roman Reigns, I just see that no one is giving him the green light to have the torch. There were a lot more deserving guys on your roster that deserve the torch, such as AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, all these other guys that have put their butts and stuff on the line because, you know, I think they deserve it more based on their body of work and the way that they're also to cut promos. Their ability to wrestle is a lot better. They have different movesets. But with Roman Reigns, it's the same generic 5 moves of doom, which, you know, it's not all that bad because Macho Man, the Randy Savage, had 5 moves of doom, but he made it more interesting and made it different because of his personality, his character, and the way he's able to talk on the mic. Although I did not watch him, I watched highlights of him, and I watched previous stuff on the WWE Network, so I understand where the fans are coming from when they talk about Macho Man being more charismatic and being able to use the 5 moves of doom in a more better way. But with Roman Reigns, it's a lot different because I don't think he is going to be the guy ever. And I think they gave him the torch. WWE gave him the torch. It wasn't John Cena. It wasn't The Undertaker that gave him the torch because it was earned. They gave it to him because the WWE said, hey, this is going to be our guy now. We don't want anyone else to be our guy, which to me is very narrow-minded and childish because there are a lot more deserving guys that deserve to be recognized as the top guy, as the face of the company, who hasn't gotten in trouble yet, who doesn't have PED scandals, who has nothing but clean stuff on their resume, and they just get gypped. There's nothing that they can do about it. They just have to, tuck their tail between their legs and just hopefully one day they get to that top spot. But with Roman Reigns, it feels like it's always given and not earned, almost like Jason Jordan is given title matches and opportunities. They're just given to him and they're not earned. And that's what irks me when John Cena or anyone from the WWE talks about Roman Reigns and they say, oh, he's actually deserved it. He's earned it. Well, no, he's been given the opportunity. He's been given everything to him. And it's not fair to anyone else who you've wrestled against or anyone else that's been in that company who gets gypped because I feel like they have earned it, but they just weren't given the credit because they weren't a corporate guy or a WWE guy. So that's frustrating to me, and the thing I wanted to add to this little part of the John Cena section. So now we got to talk about this is just, Cena catches him, puts him in the AA, doesn't finish him. John Cena does a super AA, doesn't finish him. And then it leads to 2 more AAs where he AA'd him first, rolled him back up into his shoulders again, and then gave him another AA. So really, realistically, that should have finished him. But no. Roman Reigns has the protective vest of the WWE, which the vest, I think, symbolizes what the WWE does for Roman Reigns. It protects him from anything bad about what the internet community says about him, whatever, people at the crowd says about him, whatever the wrestlers say about him, whatever anyone else says, the vest is there to protect Roman Reigns. And when Roman Reigns takes 4 finishers and doesn't lose the match, makes absolutely no sense. I swear, you could bring Kenny Omega or Okada into this match, and they would still probably make Roman Reigns would kick out of every single finisher and would definitely bury these guys. And I hope they don't come because right now, it's just looking very too predictable for me. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit later after we talk about the Brock Lesnar-Strowman match of what the rumors were for WrestleMania coming up. But for now, this is just ridiculous, man. I'm tired of this garbage. And then after the match, John Cena, champions Roman Reigns, gives him holds up his hand. The crowd is booing unanimously. It's not even cheers or anything like that. The WWE is trying to falsify their videos, falsify the crowd scenes by showing people that are excited that Roman Reigns won. They're like, yeah, Roman Reigns won. No, he didn't win. He won the match, but he didn't win the crowd over. It's been 4 years. You gave him so many main events at WrestleMania. You made him win the Royal Rumble. You entered him in the Royal Rumble where he already had a match before, and it still doesn't work. WWE needs to get that through their mind that not John, because, we've had enough of John, but Roman Reigns will not get over as the guy. I don't know why they can't think of that. I don't know what's going on through their head. They have a guy in AJ Styles, a guy perfect for that role of babyface that the crowd can cheer for. But instead, we get this, I don't really want to cuss, but we just have this shit that we don't want to see at all. No one wants to see it. I don't want to see it. The fans don't want to see it. The wrestling community doesn't want to see it. The YouTubers don't want to see it. Nobody wants to see it. But again, WWE is saying, no, we know what's best for business. We say Roman Reigns because ticket sales are up. That's a lie. The house shows are up. That's a lie as well. And revenue is up, which, that's just out of proportion because we all know that revenue just comes from the WWE Network, from watching the old stuff, from people wanting nostalgic items from the WWE shop. Just a lot of different things that people want. But I will tell you this, Roman Reigns isn't the number 1 seller in the company. No one wants Roman Reigns stuff except for the moms and the kids. And even the kids don't want him anymore because they are starting to see what is going on with Roman Reigns and why they are pushing him so hard on the fans. I don't understand it, and we will talk about it after this review of what the rumors of a possible WrestleMania 34 match is. Anyway, let's move on to the next match, which is the most disrespectful thing that the WWE could ever do for their company, for a division, for an entire roster of guys that work their asses off. And that is the Cruiserweight division, and that is Enzo Amore versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. So, it starts off with, Enzo looking like Beetlejuice. Nice Beetlejuice reference. Neville's just laughing at him, making fun of him. And, in this whole match, Neville just toys with Enzo the whole time. And, I understand why they did it because, Enzo can't wrestle. He's very generic. It's very sloppy. It doesn't look very good. And this match was so boring that my eyes were starting to close as soon as I was watching it. So what happened was that Neville got too cocky. He wanted to do the red arrow. He couldn't do it. And then I believe he did the Falcon's arrow. Correct me if I'm wrong there. And he missed. Enzo Amore does a DDT. A beautiful... Neville sells the hell out of this DDT. I will say this. Neville sold the hell out of that DDT. And that was a beauty to watch. But what happened is that Enzo got a hold of the Cruiserweight Championship in his hands, gave it to the referee. The referee then was going to give it back to the ring announcer to put it back by them. And then Enzo low blows Neville, then rolls him up 1, 2, 3, and your new Cruiserweight Champion winner is Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore. Are we fucking kidding, WWE? Enzo Amore? The dude can't wrestle worth shit. I'm going to cuss here because this match itself deserves, if we need to cut out a section of ad friendly, this is definitely not going to be ad friendly for the Cruiserweight match. You disrespect an entire division by giving Enzo the championship. Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, Jack Gallagher, Brian Kendricks, all these guys, Grand Metalik, all these guys, Tony Nese, all these guys who worked their ass off in the Cruiserweight Classic, who, some of them had the best matches you could ever see on the WWE currently right now for current product that was very different style from WWE generic wrestling. And you completely disrespected them by giving it to a guy who, A, alienated himself from the rest of the locker room where everyone has heat with him and everyone hates him. B, you took him away from Cass so they couldn't be a tag team again, and they didn't even win the tag team titles. He won the Cruiserweight title before he won the tag team titles. How does that make sense, WWE? That makes no sense. I don't understand what the game plan was here for Enzo to hold the title. Yeah, people are going to say, oh, well, he'll win it back, or Neville will win it back on Raw tomorrow. It's no big deal. Yes, it is a big deal. Enzo Amore should not hold any championship besides the tag team title because he is not that good at wrestling. He's a good talker. He's a great talker. I'm not disputing that. What I'm disputing is that he alienated himself from the locker room so everybody doesn't like him, and Roman Reigns had to kick him out. And then you give him the Cruiserweight title so you can just piss on the whole division, and you killed it. You basically killed the division right here. It makes no sense why you just killed an entire division where you had guys like Cedric Alexander, who hasn't even won it yet, I believe, if I remember right, because I don't watch 205 Live, and I don't remember a damn thing of what happened there. A guy like him, who had the match of his life against Kota Ibushi. Yeah, Ibushi was the best wrestler, but Cedric Alexander held his own, and I think he could do well on the main roster itself. But you disrespect a guy like that by giving Enzo Amore the title, which he doesn't deserve. Why did you give it to him? Oh, because we can change the title to make it a G belt, a certified G belt, where we can customize it, leopard print, so people will buy it. Merchandise. Fuck all that shit. Do not pander to the fucking crowd or the kids by giving them a title that is only going to appease 2% of your audience. Makes no sense why you give him the title. I'm sick and tired of the WWE and its garbage, and that we can't get this, man. We are going to disrespect an entire division for the sake of it. Just for the sake of lols. This is for the bands. This match was for the bands. And I can't believe that WWE allowed this. Oh, man. They got a lot of explaining to do, and I can't wait until Enzo is fired, because he has been god-awful, and I can't wait until someone else more deserving gets the Cruiserweight title, or you know what? Just get rid of the division completely. Let that belt mean nothing. Let it mean jack shit, and just enjoy. Enjoy ruining a thing that Triple H put his blood and sweat and tears into in order to create something that the fans enjoyed organically. Something that they enjoyed beautifully, and just ruined. Oh, man. Alright, let's move on to the next match, which is going to be, sadly, the Universal Championship between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Man, oh man, was this a disappointment. I was so frustrated with this match because Braun no-sold the hell out of everything that Brock Lesnar was doing. Braun Strowman looked like a total champion. He looked like a total beast. Maybe it was too early to give him the Universal title, but he looked like a total beast. I mean, this guy, you've built him up for months now, through Roman Reigns, through everything from starting with James Ellsworth to Roman Reigns to now the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam to this, where he had his final opportunity where he could go one-on-one against Brock Lesnar. And, you know, Braun Strowman, this was a smart match from him because he was in the Kimura Lock that was applied by Brock Lesnar, and he sold the hell out of that arm because the Kimura Lock was in for a long time. And that's what I liked about it, is that he knew how to sell the match, especially with his arm in the Kimura Lock. But what happened was that as soon as the match kept going on, Brock Lesnar got stronger and stronger. He started hitting Braun Strowman with a lot of suplexes, and eventually what led to Braun Strowman's demise after he power slammed Brock Lesnar was that he got F5'd. The weakest F5 I think I've ever seen from Brock Lesnar. Very generic match, very boring match from Brock Lesnar. What you typically get from a Brock Lesnar match just happened here, and you're still Universal Champion is Brock Lesnar. Now, the rumors is that he's not going to be back until the Royal Rumble. So what you did there is that you pinned yourself into a corner where now the IC belt is going to be the main priority belt in your company. Which, I mean, I love The Miz. I think he's a great talker. But as a wrestler, he's just not there. And the way that he's been booked is not there either. So the IC belt is also dead. So what does this mean? Because we also got a little extra with Kurt Angle in the back, and The Miz saying that he's going to host a special Miz TV segment featuring Roman Reigns. So what this is going to mean is that Roman Reigns is going to be winning the IC title from The Miz. And the rumor is, going to WrestleMania 34, it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, title versus title, where Roman Reigns has the IC belt and Brock Lesnar has the Universal belt. And I think this is where they want to have another coronation for Roman Reigns, giving him both titles so he can be a dual champion, because God knows that's what makes that's what's going to get Roman Reigns over, right, guys? Roman Reigns holding two titles, that's going to really get him over with the fans. The fans are going to cheer for him. The crowd is going to go wild for him. Merchandise is going to go up. Ticket sales are going to go up. No! That is not going to do anything for the WWE. If anything, that's going to ruin the WWE, because if he holds both belts, what's the point? What's the point of even wrestling on this if he's just going to hold both belts and the other guys are going to look like jabronis. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. And, you know, talking about the rumor with the title for title match, it's just very frustrating to know that No Mercy is going to be the catalyst or the beginning of what's going to be a very generic weeks of Raw, because we got Monday Night Football, we got basketball is going to be coming back, playoffs for MLB are going to be going on during this time. But, you know, WWE is in this pilot mode now until Survivor Series. They don't want to book anything special, nothing means anything, and it doesn't help that they ruined SmackDown, so SmackDown is bearable to watch, if that you want to call it. And Raw has been okay leading up to this build, but now that we know what's going to take place, what it looks like is that it's going to go downhill from here. Because WrestleMania prediction is going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, main event, of course, probably. And it's just going to be very generic, very boring, and something that the fans, the IC community, the YouTubers, whoever watches wrestling that has a sensible mind or just wants to watch wrestling that makes sense and not from a fan's perspective, like a fanatic of Roman Reigns, is going to suck. It's going to suck. We're going to get this hell match, and I'm not ready for it. And, you know, I'm going to end it here because we're already at like 34 minutes. So I'll end this here. Thank you guys for listening. I'm going to give No Mercy a 2 out of 10. 2 because I thought the tag team match was that good and it built up. But the negative, and the biggest negative of it all, is going to be the Enzo versus Neville match, because it completely ruins the Cruiserweight division, the Cruiserweight wrestlers, and anything that has to do with Cruiserweights in period. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'm sorry I went on a little rant and I used some curse words, but, you know, it had to be done, especially for this No Mercy review. Alright, guys, I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace!